Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm the Housewife Historian, and we are here to talk the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and possibly some other franchises today. There was a new blind item dropped by Bravo and Cocktails about 25 minutes ago, and it could possibly be about the alleged affair between Dorito and Mauricio, who is Kyle Richards' husband, who, of course, has been in many allegations with affairs and even in a book about his escapades on the west side of Hollywood with transgender and LGBTQ community. We've heard rumors of him hooking up with the nannies. Camille Grammer mentioned that in one of her confessionals. But before we get started, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, turn those notifications on. It's so important. You never know what's going to be happening. And I'm going to start by reading you guys the blind item, first and foremost, that was posted on Bravo and Cocktails. It reads as the following. This housewife has a husband in the entertainment industry. He sure does spend a lot of time outside of the house at the production office. Well, that's what he says anyway. The affair he is having is going to blow up in his face because way too many people know. So, that's the blind item. We all are teetering on the fact that it could be Dorit and Mauricio, but there were also people commenting that it could possibly be Todd from the Real Housewives of Atlanta because he spends a lot of time in New York and New Jersey, and Candy works a lot. She does the Bravo show and she does Broadway, and we know that she was doing that escape tour. So she's on the go, and they have two little kids. So a lot of people have a lot to say about her marriage with Todd because they talk about it on the show. They're kind of open about their issues. We know that they met on the show, Candy and Todd. Todd was in production. And that's how they ended up meeting and dating and eventually getting married and having children. So we are hearing that allegedly he could be the culprit in this blind item. Now, if we hypothetically go the other way, of course, all of this is alleged. We're just kind of, talking about some of the facts and things that we do know. If this were to swing the other way towards Dorit and Mauricio, okay? Mauricio allegedly has this deal with Netflix, right, for buying Beverly Hills. We saw them advertising this right before all of this happened with Garcelle's son. And when the bots went after Garcelle's son, people were calling for the Netflix series to be canceled. However, there's no proof or articles or anything on the internet that says that Netflix has actually officially canceled the show because we haven't even gotten season 1 yet. But it's lots and lots of articles of fans calling for the show to be canceled before it even starts. So it's kind of misleading because there's so many articles, so many people calling for it to be canceled, but no statement from Netflix or any other news outlet that confirms those allegations. So if hypothetically they still do have the Netflix series, then allegedly Mauricio could be in the entertainment industry. He could be spending a lot of time with production because the show is going to be about him. It's going to be about the agency. They're going to include the daughters who have their real estate license and they work for the agency as well. They're kind of making it a family thing, if you will. We know we're going to be seeing them. But again, it's going to be centered around the agency. And here's another thing, guys, we have to remember. I really bring this up in all of my videos. Let's remember that like a year ago at this time, Kyle, Mauricio, PK, and Dorit were hanging out all of the time. And when I say all the time, I mean their stories, their Instagram posts, they were together, they were out to dinner, they were in Mexico, they were here, they were there. They were working on a real estate reality TV series. It was going to be set to be overseas. But it fell through, right? It fell through. So now Mauricio has gotten this deal with Netflix because, of course, out of PK and Mauricio, which one probably has more connections to, production companies and, channels or whatever you want to say. It's definitely going to be Kyle and Mauricio. They have lots and lots of contacts in the industry, right? Dana Wilkie says that she introduced Kyle to one of the producers that produced the Halloween series. And she actually was the one that introduced Kyle to the production. So everyone in Hollywood knows everyone, but since Kyle has been in Beverly Hills her whole life, she's kind of like a Tom Girardi because she knows where all the bodies are buried, just like Kim and Kathy. So if it is Dorit and it is PK, it would make a little bit of sense because we saw the outrage when Dana Wilkie posted like a poster like photo of Mauricio and Dorit, and it was like a joke. But it showed them like kind of embracing each other, and she had taken it from YouTube, I think, from somebody else had designed it, and she just reposted it, and Dorit and everyone was coming for Dana over that photo and wanted her to take it down, and Dorit made a huge comment about it. And so I think that all of the allegations and all of the press surrounding this affair has Kyle pissed off, right? Because if we've heard it 4, 5, 6, 10 times, that's a long, that says something. To me, it does. So if we've heard it 10 times, don't you think that Kyle's probably heard it 50 times from people, from associates, from rumors, who knows, right? Makeup artists, hair artists, who knows? But if we've heard it that many times, Kyle's heard it 10 times over, okay? Because she knows everything that goes on in Beverly Hills. That's her town. It's not that big of a town. There's 2 high schools, right? Even though she's technically in the Valley, she's really not in the Beverly Hills, but regardless, it's her stomping ground. Either way, Kyle is not going to be happy that she's hearing these rumors, and that's going to put stress on Dorit and Kyle's relationship, which I think we're seeing because they don't even hang out together anymore. It seems like Dorit wants to be embracing of Kyle. She was upset that she didn't get to stay at Kyle's house in Aspen, but she was willing to take one for the team because she understood, why the sleeping arrangements were the way that they were, and she probably didn't want to sleep in a double bunk bed room anyways because that's where she would have had to have stayed. That's where Kathy's room was. So she would have been stuck in, double bunk beds. But that's, neither here nor there. She did end up going to the hotel and staying with Diana, who we know stays in luxury and sends people ahead of time to unpack all of her things and make sure she has everything she needs. And they also cleanse the room of any bad energy. So Dorit was happy to move to the hotel because she felt very safe there, and it's a very safe building. Don't forget, it's very safe. Anyways, I also wanted to know, did you guys notice how much Dorit was actually in the trailer? If you guys saw the trailer for the second half of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which, number one, this is wild that we're getting this trailer when there's only 3 to 4 episodes left. Number 2, it's wild that they filmed the reunion before we even got the mid-season trailer. How does that even happen, right? It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, at least, but we're seeing a little bit more of Dorit, and we're seeing her kind of come at Kyle over Kathy, and Kyle just kind of like says she doesn't give an F, and you can kind of see the child attributes come out of Kyle when it comes to Kathy. It clearly triggers her. That seemed really obvious whenever we see Dorit talking to Kyle about Kathy. Kyle's immediately in defense mode, starts yelling and saying she doesn't give an F. It's just very, like I said, it triggers her. It's possible that she is hearing rumors about Dorit and Mauricio as well at this point, because we have to remember we've been hearing these rumors for a very long time, right? So when they're filming, it's possible that Kyle's hearing these rumors too. And here's another thing, guys. Sorry, I just want to make sure I was recording. Here is another thing, guys. Kim Richards is allegedly the one letting out all of these blind items. She's the one leaking stuff to the press about this alleged affair between Mauricio and Dorit. And it's allegedly because of everything that's transpired with Kyle. And of course, Kim is team Kathy, and after everything that happened between Kyle and Kim on the show and her kind of outing her as an alcoholic and stealing her GD house, I think that Kim could possibly be making moves behind Kyle's back to sabotage her, or to be really telling us the truth. We don't know. Maybe Mauricio is allegedly having an inappropriate relationship with Dorit. We don't know, but there's a reason that people keep saying that, and it does seem like they embrace each other an awful lot. They hugged after the robbery, and she kissed his arm 3 times, and she calls him honey and baby cakes. That's what she calls him. And he was sitting at the head of the table, and she was sitting next to him. at the dinner in Aspen, and Kyle wasn't even next to Mauricio. And again, why is Mauricio on these girls' trips? Can anyone please tell me, why is he on the girl trips? I did see Tamara and Two T's in a Pod and Teddy discussing Mauricio being on these girls' trips, and like Tamara said, why is he there? And Teddy's like, well, he has an agency there. Well, he has an agency everywhere. Like, that doesn't mean that you get to take a free load off Bravo, except for the fact that Bravo must be getting some sort of reimbursement or part of the profits for the agency that they would like let them advertise for it as much as they do. Again, another reason why people were upset that no one wanted to listen to Kathy's talk over the tequila that she was allegedly invested in. So that's what started this whole thing, was nobody wanted to listen to her whenever she was talking about the tequila. People, again, talking about this franchise, or not the franchise, but talking about the Netflix series being canceled. This is kind of a big deal, guys, because Kyle's coming up on her contract. Her contract's up. She had a 5-year contract, her and Lisa Rinna. And I think that what happens with Kyle will definitely affect what happens with Lisa Rinna. And I was expecting Kyle to step away because I thought that she would probably go into the Netflix series where she would have more control over the narrative, more control over what was, going on, and kind of invest in her daughters and the agency and, them as a reality show and a family versus her by herself on the Real Housewives. Also, guys, did you hear Nicki Minaj's comments regarding Garcelle? Wow, is all I have to say. I really liked Nicki after she hosted the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion. I liked her. I liked what she had to say. Like, I thought it was great. But after what I heard she say about Garcelle, I have changed my opinion. I want to know what you guys think. If you've been on Instagram or Twitter, then I'm sure you've heard what she says. Apparently, Nicki, I don't know if she was fired from the Real or they were going to put her on the Real, but regardless, she definitely has a resentment for whatever reason. But on top of that resentment, she is upset about things that were said about her husband and her brother, who have, I think the brother is incarcerated and convicted of some sort of SA, and then the husband did time for an SA, and the young lady he assaulted was like 16 or 17 at the time. She came forward and did interviews, and I think she was on the Real. And so therefore Nicki Minaj is pissed at Garcelle because they embraced the victim of her husband, allegedly, who was convicted and served time on the assault. So I don't know what they're going to do about that, but it's not good. I feel like I can't believe it, and neither can most of the Bravo community believe how she's coming for Garcelle. But I want to know what you guys think. Make sure you hit that like button. It really helps my videos. I'm definitely trying to grow. I also wanted to say one more thing before I go. Did you guys see Lisa Rinna walking the runway in New York City? She posted it on her Instagram, and she captioned it that when you're 59 years old and you're asked to walk the runway, you say yes, like W or YAS, all capital letters, the exclamation point. She's just been constantly posting Fashion Week New York, her daughters out to dinner, Harry's there, just that's all we are seeing right now from Lisa Rinna. So, all right, guys, I hope you have a great day. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn those notifications on.